Chapter 5 is a lot of fun because it talks about the applications of all of the networks, including the internet, which is really the main network that people use. I mean, you have your intranets that you use a lot at work, but with VPNs, a lot of people access their intranets over the internet from home or from travel. So really, the internet is by far the biggest network in the world, for one thing, but then also it's the most used. So this network applications applies to everything from intranets to extranets and of course to the internet. Starters, it gives you network applications, then talks about some Web 2.0, e-learning, distance learning, and telecommuting. So I'm just going to skim over this. The network applications, discovery, communications, collaboration, and web services. Discovery, who hasn't Googled something or searched on Yahoo or 3 or 4 different search engines? There's a lot in here about discovery. There's a lot of different types of search engines that it talks about, some pretty neat ones. So you may want to just, as you're skimming through this, you may want to look at some of this stuff that you can do with these different search engines. Most people, well, at least me, a lot of times I'll start and end with Google and don't really look at all the other options that are out there. So take some time and look through that. Let's see, then there's other types of discovery. You've got portals. Portals are, for those of you that don't already have a corporate portal, it's a place for an organization to bring all of the information and communication together in one location. We have one of those on campus for our students, and it really is almost information overload because it brings everything together in one place. They sign on one time, which is great, but then from there, it's almost like you can get lost with the options. You can customize everything, move everything around. So it's a good tool if it's used the right way. A lot of people set up portals on their home web page, their home computers, such as Google has iGoogle, and you can customize what information you want where you want your news, your calendar, your mail, photos, chat, different types of news, different websites, different things. So there's a lot of uses for portals as far as finding and discovering information. This is an example of a commercial portal through Yahoo. No, it's not. That's a Yahoo search for a commercial portal. This is the example of commercial portal, or one of many. There's lots of them, and most of you probably seen one or maybe familiar with it. Let's see, communication, of course there's email. Email is actually the slow way to communicate now. People chat, people text, people have the goodness, this is not the right term. The only thing that can come to mind is the beep beep phones.
Push to talk.
Push to talk, thank you. My wife's sitting here helping me make the videos. This is the push to talk feature that where you're just instantly communicating with each other. And email, a lot of times, at least for us at this university, when somebody sends an email, you don't really expect an instant response. You kind of expect to hear back in a day or two or longer, but a lot of people use chat and instant message to get a more instant response. Then there's call centers. There's pictures of call centers on here. This is stuff that y'all are all familiar with. Collaboration. I think you do enough collaboration with your teamwork. You're all probably very familiar with all of these tools. These are some pretty interesting pictures here. I've never actually been in a room like this, but I think I would like to see it. It looks like it'd be a lot of fun to actually have some of these tools. We don't have this kind of money on our campus, so when we do a video conference, we use things like Google Video Chat. We don't have anything. I think there's one room on campus that has something similar to this, but it's not near this nice. So these are some pretty interesting systems here. Whiteboards. We do have a few whiteboards that I've seen, but they are what I've seen with the whiteboards is they're typically used more for in-class lectures that you're recording to be saved and posted online later. Now you can use some of this whiteboard space for meetings that you're sharing with people, where you see the computer at the bottom where they're sharing the desktop, and they're able to see what you're doing, so it's like they're in the presentation even though they're not really there. They're just viewing everything at a distance. Web 2.0 is an interesting discussion, and it's going to be interesting to see where it actually takes us over the next few years. It's not just information being passed from the client to the from the server to the client anymore. There's the fact that now we're interacting with the server and we're creating our own content. You look at Facebook pages, you look at MySpace pages, blogs. There's where you're able to put photo albums. You're able to tag other people's photos. There's just so many things that you can do where you're interacting and creating your own content, rather than just finding what's out there. Even something as simple as RSS. You'll notice over here on this chart that the long tail is actually one of the parts of the Web 2.0 map here. These are just some more slides here talking about Web 2.0, information technologies, blogging, and a lot of people use blogs. I haven't really got into blogs and wikis. Some people on campus have tried them, but I haven't really seen that much of a use for them in education yet. I'm sure some people use them perfect, but I have done the RSS, as you've seen on my web page, and the podcast, the video cast. I like that part, but I just don't use the wikis. It's just not my thing, I guess. Then there's different categories here of the Web 2.0. You can read through all this. You don't need me to show it to you off the slides. Let's see. Then there's the e-learning. I don't guess I have to talk to you all about e-learning, since that's what your whole program has been about. You're probably very familiar with this, all these concepts here, and of course they finish up with telecommuting. So it's an interesting chapter. The Technology Guide 5 is a good lead into this because it tells you how everything works, and this gives you some of the applications of that actual network. So as always, if you have questions, give me a call or shoot me an email.